don't need to take this kind of abuse from someone who sucks toes.
Gather round and listen to a tale of brave souls, big and small, where they go on adventures, where they may trip but never fall. Trials, triumphs, and doing their best. Join us, friends, on a stumble quest.
Last time on Stumble Quest, our intrepid heroes vanquished the nasty, dusty villain and all his dogs, only to find out that without a soul tethered to this arcane device, this place is coming down. But by the grace of socks and a little quick thinking, they managed to escape into some desert dunes just as sandy as the boss they just dusted.
After a harrowing chain of events involving breaking into the Grand Cathedral, there were bandits, a couple of drakes at one point, some scorpions. You got arrested. You broke out of jail and found yourself in a dungeon that has since collapsed.
/ spaceship.
All of that ending with the battle against a foe whose creaky, mummified visage still lingers in your mind. You all narrowly escaped. And now find yourselves in the middle of the desert. There are no visible landmarks in any direction.
Fuck.
The sun is still high in the sky at this point, so it's bathing you all in an intense, scorching heat.
Great. Something more to think about.
Didn't miss that at all.
Knack casts no direction, and my brain is now a compass.
Wow, sick. Cool, man.
Knack licks the tip of his finger and puts his finger up in the air and looks around, trying to find the wind, and he's looking around, but his antennas start pointing north at all times now, just for visual. Even when he's turned the other way around, they just bend backwards.
Okay,
That's
fantastic.
adorable. Okay.
So from the direction that Knack was facing when he stood up, his antennas point to his left, and that's north.
Okay.
So there you go.
Knack points up at his antennas and says, north. They're pointing north. Hopefully we can find our way out of here.
Oh, okay. Good. I guess because Emperor's Cradle is along the coast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Emperor's New Group?
Yeah. It's on the north
Emperor's
end of
New
the
Group.
country, yeah. Emperor's New Group.
Perfect.
New Cradle.
Emperor's New Cradle. So I think Art's suggestion is going to be, let's go, what would it be, northeast?
Well, I mean, you don't know
correct?
exactly.
I don't know where
so
we are.
It's
But if we're
difficult
but-
to judge.
I was
No, but-
about to be
okay,
like,
but
we
what
know
I'm
the
saying-
the cardinal directions, but we don't know where we are, so it's still
No.
going.
But what I'm saying is that no
Okay.
matter where we are in the desert, because it's on the coast, it's to the east, right?
Oh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was thinking.
Because Munden's pretty up and down,
Yeah.
if I'm remembering correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean,
Art's suggestion is head
northern
east until
coast.
we find. Yeah.
Oh, you're
But,
saying to go to
no
the
matter
east
where we
and-
are, if we go
Gotcha, yeah.
northeast-ish, we will likely hit Emperor's Cradle or the coast, and then be able to find Emperor's Cradle. That's his line.
As soon as you can find water, you can just follow the coast.
Exactly. So
Okay,
he's
that makes sense.
gonna say, let's start heading east, and hopefully we'll find some kind of landmark, or worst case, the ocean, I guess. He's overwhelmed and just not sure what else we can do.
I can also turn into a bird and scout.
This is true.
Need that.
This is
Also
true.
a good idea.
Yeah.
Hot
Should
damn,
we make
man.
camp? Should we make camp
Good.
before we start traveling in the middle of the day in the desert?
Probably. I think we're all pretty fucked up.
I mean, people are pretty injured, as I recall.
I'm full health.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Somehow you got out of there at full health.
Yeah, somehow I turned the tables here and I ended up full health.
Knack is close to dead.
Yeah, I mean, Art's at half health with a third of his spell points left. So
Remember when that spooky man from the other session vaporized his dogs? That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
His hellhounds.
Uh-huh.
It's fine. Oh,
Yeah, no, let's make it. Is there anything around that would give us any shelter, or are we just gonna have to fashion
nah, dog. It's just sand dunes.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just fashion like a tent or whatever we have into like a big tarp area that maybe we could sleep under.
Okay.
And take a nice long rest, I think.
Okay.
Also, Art will petition Larian for some healing and perhaps try and explain some of what's going on. Because this man has just been...
That man is gonna have to sleep so much. He's done so much healing. He's just gonna shrivel up into a like prune and die.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, the reason why we're not more dead is because he was healing all of us and used all of his heals.
Did he use all of it?
More or less. If he has any heals, he's got a cure light left.
Okay.
That's it.
But I mean, like, if we're going into a long rest, if we're like sleeping, he might as well use all of his healing because he's about to get it all back.
That's true.
And Art is fucked up, and we don't heal a lot
Brix
for a
isn't
long
doing
rest.
great either.
Yeah.
Real quick, before tent quest occurs, you're all getting your bearings after being teleported. Knack figures out what direction it is, and you're all getting reacclimated to being outside in the heat. You notice that Socks has collapsed and is just on the ground, panting, laying on his side, still with the shield-like apparatus strapped to him.
No, baby.
Well, I'm gonna try to take it off of him first of all.
Yeah, we take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it come off?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna like take it off and strap it to my back and pat him a little on the face.
Okay.
Knack rolls a heal check to try to discern what's wrong with the little fella.
Okay.
What's wrong, little fella? Do you need some water?
I think he used too much magic.
He used too much magic. They're literally made of magic.
Yeah.
Need a little snacky poo? Need some Cheerios?
Some goldfish crackers.
I got a 19 to heal. To just but that's not like to heal him. That's just
to
find out
diagnose him.
What's wrong with him? Yeah.
Okay.
Is that it? He just used up a lot of magic. Do you need some magic, fella?
It's a combination of that and just the effects of the artifact were very, very strenuous on his tiny body.
Okay.
Oswalt runs on over to Socks and charges his hand with Carnal Touch and holds it near his nose.
He said runs at him and charges him.
Fucking Terminator runs it.
Oh, he's eating.
He's eating very weakly,
Oh, baby.
but he is eating.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
What if it backfired and you just shriveled him up and he died?
We've already established that I can't hurt him with this unless I'm straight attacking him. If he's eating it, it's fine.
Yeah. Poor little fella.
Why's it gotta be that spell?
Why not?
Why you gotta gamble with that one?
You are what you eat, after all. So he's gonna become necrotic energy.
Well, okay. Well, here, because I feel like this will be more energy for him, I will summon a spectral hand because I still have one spell left in that area. And then the hand will just like pop into existence and then float over.
He sucks it up like a ghost in Luigi's Mansion.
Hell yeah.
He sucks on its thumb.
Oh,
Come on, man. Why you gotta be like that?
he a baby though.
He is.
He's
Yeah, that's
cute.
true.
I love the mixed up reactions to that, where half of us were like, ew, and the other half were like, oh, baby.
Yeah.
Oh!
Shows which of us are in the fucking gutter.
Mhm.
If you can make a spectral hand, can you make a spectral foot?
Yeah, probably, right?
Ew!
I don't know what you would want one, but
Kick
For
people
sucking.
from far away? No, not for toe
for
sucking.
toe sucking.
I don't need
No.
to take this kind of abuse from someone who sucks toes.
God!
I was looking at something. I can't remember what D&D book I was looking at. I think you pointed this out to me, but it was just like Snake with
100 mage hands.
100 mage hands, and it's just it's a painting of a fucking snake on a pile of gold with a shit ton of mage hands floating around it. It's
What
the
the
best.
fuck? I really like that.
I think it was just like a thing that was like fucked up ideas for NPC or player characters.
Mhm.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
It's
that's
just like a
pretty
snake
cool.
with 100 mage hands.
It should be
Snake
like
with hands.
those little like drawn like doodled over gifs of snakes just like going and they have little hands that just go like that, you know, like stick hands that
Yeah.
are like little fists and stuff.
That's what the mage hands look like.
Yeah,
They look like
exactly,
stick hands.
Exactly. Or like the emus, you know, that have like the little drawn hands like that. It should be there should be a bunch of animals that don't have hands with mage hands, but they all look like that.
That's a fantastic idea, and
I
I
think
love
so.
it. Yeah. That's really great.
So yeah, I fed Socks a little bit. I don't know how much I can feed him without him turning me into a raisin. So I'll leave some of this other stuff
Stocks is,
to
he's visibly looking a little bit better after having eaten something.
Hey.
He's still not looking great. He's still a little bit like weary, like shaky as he's trying to get up, but he's much better.
Good. Oswalt's just petting him now.
Yeah. Knack also pets him.
Can you give him good berries?
Yeah, I was gonna, but you gave him a gross hand to suck on.
Like a pervert.
I was just gonna give him berries, but all right.
He has two fathers.
He can suck on a hand too.
I was gonna give him
So many
berries.
dads.
Yeah, you can get a hand. That's fine.
Get a gross hand.
Whatever.
It's not weird.
Socks can have a gross hand as a snack.
Little a gross hand as a treat.
Little a gross hand.
Okay.
Knack just pets Socks and gives him berries and says thank you for saving us.
He starts sucking up those berries like Ghosts in Luigi's Mansion 2.
Good.
That's a lot of food. I mean, I know he eats the magic in them, but like physically, that's a lot of food. Is good berries.
Yeah.
Several days worth of food.
But I imagine that when he eats the magic of the good berry, it dispels the feeding effect of it.
Yeah. So it is just a berry at that point.
Yeah. As it's like entering his system, it like disperses into nothing except magic.
Tasty little treats.
How many good berries do you produce?
Does Socks poop? Does he make little dookies?
Little rainbow dookies?
Yeah.
Rainbow dookies.
His actual spells are kind of
Yeah, expelling magical waste.
yeah.
I make 2d4 good berries every time I cast it.
He can do an attack called Power Spray, and it's literally just a spray of raw magic energy.
Wild.
It doesn't do anything except for damage in a cone. No other effects. It's just okay. So
Campsite make.
as you guys are all setting up the campsite, Larian's snapping out of shock slowly, and he's like, "Gods above, we're alive! Oh, mercy, truly blessed we are this day. Whoo! What the hell was that?
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
God!
Remember when I said that we don't really know what we're dealing with?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's all seems, we just keep finding this weird stuff that's wrong, and
You found a mummy that was shooting lasers at us.
yeah,
I don't
And
like that at all.
no, it's been a lot. We've fought things that are made of voids, and
This alone was too much for me, man. And you've seen more of this?
Welcome to the family.
if it's any consolation, it doesn't happen that often, but stuff like this seems to be what we're looking for. We don't know why. I cannot stress enough that we have not figured out the reason why we're looking for these things, just that we know that they exist, and no one else seems to know that they exist, and I think that's kind of the only reason we have.
I see. Well,
It might have something to do with the Church of the One God. We don't know yet. There's a lot of strings
Yeah.
oh,
that we're trying to
Yeah.
figure out
Yeah.
how to connect. Hey, by the way, thanks for the healing.
it's the least I could do. It's all I really knew how to do in that situation.
Well, you did great. Thank you.
I could use a little more, Brix
Thank
says
you.
as she like toddles up to him and just like tugs on his fucking pants.
Down here, you're sort of like, listen, I know I'm not at eye level, but if you could just like kind of just give me a blast, just blast me in the face with that stuff.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Okay, no worries. Here, I got you. Woo! You get another 12 HP back.
Hey.
That was pretty good.
Oh, good. Yeah, Brix is fully healed.
Oh, nice. I'm missing 18 at this point. So Art's still looking like kind of fucked up, but he's just kind of holding it all together.
That was my last spell.
That's fine. That's fine.
I got no more.
Tomorrow.
juice.
Tomorrow. We're going to sleep.
Well, Oswalt, in the meantime, just in case, hands Art one of the healing potions that he has.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Art'll take it.
Sick. And then Oswald's gonna, I'm assuming we have the little camp set up now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oswald's gonna go sit down somewhere relatively comfortable and start bandaging his bite wounds on his legs.
Oh yeah, your messed up trousers.
Yeah, you got hot pants again.
Wait, why'd you get bit? What'd you get bit by?
The hellhound
The
was
hellhound
biting the
twice.
shit out of me.
You got bit on the thighs.
Yeah, that had one hellhound took me from like full health to bloodied real bad before my owlbear beat it to death.
I just enjoy how we were all fighting for our lives against an eldritch god, and in like behind a fucking column in a corner, Oswald was being mauled in the legs by a dog in the background.
Yeah.
While I'm summoning hordes of the undead.
Takes you a little while. The sun is beginning to set by the time your camp is fully set up to a point where it's an acceptable amount of shelter.
Woo!
From the elements. So you will have a nice, delightful rest. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Very good.
Do we want to talk about? Do we want to talk
I
about
don't-
stuff?
I don't sleep, so I'm gonna say that Will's gonna be studying this shield thing after he's bandaged his horribly wounded chest that I just noticed no one ever did anything about, and he's like, it was just a terrible open wound all over his chest. So I'm gonna say
A sucking chest wound.
after that,
I'm going to say we all take a moment to bandage our wounds.
yes, he's probably gonna be trying to figure out things about this weapon.
Wow, that really escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It did, and it de-escalated quickly once we just got out of there, and we have no idea where that was. Was that actually somewhere under Munden? Where were we? Were we in the sky? Were we
We don't even
in
know.
a mountain somewhere? We have no fucking idea. Like,
Underground.
It
in
could
the
have been a
sky.
pocket dimension for all you know.
it could have been a
Could have
pocket
been anywhere.
dimension.
Could have been anything.
Like, in my head, it kind of just is a pocket dimension because we have no idea where it was.
I mean, that's pretty fair. If you don't know
Yeah.
where something is, what are you going to do with it in your head?
While Knack and Art are having that conversation, Oswalt walks up with both legs, his right arm and chest all bandaged. I'd be like, "Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I didn't. I'm not a. We killed that guy, but I don't. Who was that guy? What was his problem?
He was the conduit. That's all we know. Are you sure you don't need this more than I do? Art like pulls out the healing potion.
It's just a couple of 100 flesh wounds. It's fine.
I don't even know how many wounds Knack has. He's got a couple cracks in him.
Mhm. Mm-hmm.
And as you say that, Oswald goes, "I'm mostly fine. I mean, the leg wounds are the worst, but the burns on my right hand and the halberd wound in my chest are still oddly tender. So this is just a little insurance." And then he sits down with the group, and as he's doing that, he's just like, "Okay."
Just dad noises all the way down.
You hear like popping noises everywhere. And,
Oh, God. He sounds like the spooky man.
yeah, he sits down
As
and it's
he
like
moves.
a glow stick sound, like
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no!
yeah,
That's really terrible.
Yeah.
And you are inspecting
yeah.
the dingle hopper.
hmm
Okay. At first glance, you're finding that the whole apparatus is, as you might have expected, kind of heavy and unwieldy.
Yeah.
The core of it glows an eerie yellow, with the deepest part of it seeming to gently bubble.
Oh.
Holding the apparatus gives one a feeling of strength, and it also seems to soothe the mind. It's
This
got a
thing looks
weird
like-
calming effect, as if somebody from far away is like singing you a lullaby.
We really do keep calling it a shield, but I'm looking at this thing right now, and it's just a thing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like you look at it, and it's like, this is a thing, bitch. It doesn't even look like a weapon or a shield, or
It's just a
Yeah.
thing.
it's a thing.
Yeah. I think eventually, like, Art is going to start examining it with you because this is a weird. I mean, whatever it is, hopefully it's the thing we needed to get. We have no idea.
Does it have any runes?
Well, yeah, it's got runes all over it.
Other than the ones that clearly are the spell, like, because I know it has
Oh, you
runes.
mean like the types of individual runes that...
Or anything that is like not just, these are spell runes basically that make it work, or that anything like that. Like, is there any information actually on it?
Is there any place on it for like a weird little orb that we might have?
No, we tried to make them work together, and
Did we?
don't connect together.
They're just made out of the same things.
Yeah.
Okay.
So theoretically, this is the thing that we were trying to get because
it's made out of the same thing as the thing that we thought we were trying to get.
Yeah, and possibly causing issues in the same way the last thing was, or not necessarily causing issues, but connected to whatever bullshit that we're trying to.
And it's
what if I tap it with my weird little dowsing rod?
Right.
Well, your weird little dowsing rod gets pulled to it like a magnet.
Yeah.
Really about all that happens.
Okay.
As far as the runes that you're searching for information, like what sort of information are you hoping to find?
Anything that is actual information, like a name, or like a name for anything, or a story. Sometimes you will have runes on like weapons and stuff like that tell stories or tell who it belongs to or something like that.
There's Sharpie on it that says Andy.
Are these the same kind of runes that Brix was able to read in the actual area?
Ooh.
I was gonna ask. I was gonna have Art be like, Brix, weird question. Do these mean anything to you?
Yeah, do these mean anything to old Brixie?
Old Brixie boo.
I feel like we talked about that before. I could be wrong.
I'm not sure.
Yes, they do have celestial writing on them, and the symbols that Brix can read explain what the thing does. Essentially, like that it's a power amplifier.
Right.
Yeah, okay. I knew Brix had deciphered some runes, but I couldn't remember if it was on the thing or in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was before the battle, and everything before the battle is just a blur.
Fair.
So nothing.
Nothing that indicates like a name or anything. When you're inspecting it, the middle part with all the celestial writing on it is a separate piece from the actual wearable apparatus of it. So it's like inserted into the shield-like housing of it.
Do you mean the glowy
yes.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagined. Seems like a battery put into a thing.
Yeah.
If Will looks at this thing enough and like inspects it everywhere, is there any indication that this thing could turn into a different thing? Or is there any hidden trappings to it at all?
Can I get a knowledge arcana, I guess? It is a magic device, so that makes sense to me.
Plus 10, it's 15. That was not a very good roll, but...
While you don't get the feeling that it really can turn into something else, you get the feeling that it's part of something else.
So it's a piece.
So it is not. It doesn't have a part in it. It is a piece of something bigger. The glowy core in the outer shell.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
It seems like the outer shell is meant to make it usable by itself, whereas normally it is usable only as part of whatever the bigger thing is.
I get the impression that basically what we have is the exact same thing that we got from the orb, except this one has machinery to make it usable for things.
This one has a crispy coating around its ooey gooey center.
Yeah.
So the orb that we have is potentially like a power source for another object that we could possibly find in the future.
Can I try something?
Well, I mean...
No.
I want to hold the orb with my left hand and cast a spell.
Okay.
You summon a giant skeleton.
A glowing skeleton.
That can talk, and with a snapback.
Everybody has a snapback now.
Oh, yeah.
On a skateboard.
That
Just
happens
because the spell was so much more
Question,
powerful.
has Brix ever really looked at the orb?
Not once.
Not really.
Not once.
We are so bad. We gotta get our shit together.
This is the thing. Like, that's why I'm like, yeah, we should talk. We should talk a lot. We should ask
We
Hey,
do kind of let
hey,
things fall off
Larian.
our back.
Ask us questions about what's going on, because we don't fucking know and we don't fucking talk about it.
Brix has no reason to have really looked at this because I don't think she would care.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think she was actively avoiding it.
Yeah.
She was scared of it, right?
The whole throwing it in a river thing
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah, because it made you go all zombie-esque.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
all right. Well, we should get Brix to look at it. So, Oswalt, we're learning more about the item that we just got. So, while holding the original orb in his left hand, with his right hand, he basically just summons a skeleton to see if it makes a difference.
Skeleton comes up out of the ground and looks at you in confusion.
Why have you brought me here, master?
What do you want? Huh?
Why have you birthed me, father?
What's with this skeleton judging all of
The
a
fuck,
sudden?
dude?
Listen, it's our AC unit, okay? We've been over this before.
Jeph,
The
God
skeletons are our
damn it.
Standing in the
portable
middle of the
air
room.
conditioning units.
Oh, these
Yeah, so
skeletons are
nothing.
giving us Jeff sass. What?
What?
Why could you possibly have summoned me right now of all times?
There's nothing around to kill. Do you want me to kill you? I'll do it.
Bitch,
No, what? Why?
He walks up to
No.
you're a
slap
cruel
you.
god.
and Is dispelled.
Are you doing a bit?
I am doing a bit. The skeleton summons it as normal, and nothing else happens.
So without any runes and any like extra hardware, these things are not an amplifier. The runes and the like metal part is the amplification spell, clearly. Seems like these like orb thingies are only like a power source, I guess.
Well, also worth noting that the core of the shield thingy is way the fuck bigger than
Yeah,
the
it's
orb.
much bigger.
It's huge compared to the orb.
Also just saying that if we're now identifying these things as a potential power source, we do have a machine that needed some mysterious power source
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
that we need to get back to.
That we had
Just
the power source for
Say
all
that
along.
potentially we've had the power source
Well,
for all along.
We
It
might
was
have
friendship,
to,
right? It was
Oh,
friendship. That was the power source.
fuck.
That was the power source, was friendship, yeah.
but we just established that the thing in the shield is quote unquote bigger than the orb, so we might need the thing from the shield or both.
Or all of
You
them. if
do
there's
also
more.
have those weird batteries.
That's true.
One of them is broken.
Yeah, I do have one. One is broken, but we have 3.
Yes. 3 out of 4 have survived.
I feel like before we get into exposition or inspecting items, there's like 17 elephants in the room that
No, exactly. So
we haven't
start
addressed as characters. I don't want us to.
And we're not even talking about the literal elephant that would be in this room.
start elephanting.
Welcome to the elephant room.
But I don't want us to move too fast and then accidentally kick off a series of new events
Okay.
before we have time to de-escalate.
No,
previous
we're
ones.
we're literally just talking around a campfire right now, or not around a campfire, talking around. We're just talking.
May I
We're
make
talking
So,
around
let's
an
talk.
AC
May I-
skeleton.
may
Yeah.
I make a recommendation? Like
What?
we just set up camp. We just started taking care of our wounds. We just went through some crazy shit. Lyrian's freaking out. We're looking at the new stuff that we got. Oswalt tried a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like what is a natural thing that happens in times of crises in the real world is people will like basically immediate issues like, holy shit, what just happened? What does this mean? Maybe we know, like blah, blah, blah. And then as things kind of like sink in, that's when people are like, oh my, holy fuck.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
So I
To-
think if we're gonna continue to go over some of this stuff, like let's do that first and then do the interpersonal
Yeah,
drama.
Well, I will
I
say
mean,
I'm sorry because it probably started with me like actually doing something so technical, but that's just because that's like Whale's priority is that, but obviously I'm not saying that there's definitely other shit, but this is his focus, so I wanted to find out since it's the only thing he's going to be doing.
I don't think our personal stuff is the biggest elephant in the room right now. I think the biggest elephant in the room is Larian.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot.
No, exactly. Like that's what I mean. Go, like, have the conversation.
Yeah. What were you
Like,
gonna say to?
sorry for sending you to jail and ruining your life and potentially having your wife and child killed.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the words you chose in character, or
Not to even talk about
That were the words I wanted
Like,
Dax to
not to
say,
even talk
but
about the
I
fact
said them out of character.
Yeah.
we certainly an amount of people here might believe that Larian was not the reason why we ever got caught, or somehow we suspiciously, got found out. But that doesn't have to be necessarily everyone. He said he didn't, but that doesn't mean, it's true.
He said he was tortured.
So there's a lot of, there's like, he certainly is there.
But also, a lot of us never met him before then.
Yeah, no, we don't know this man.
Yeah.
So Knack walks up to Larian and sticks out a metal clawed hand. Nice to meet you. My name's Knack.
Oh yeah, I guess we never were introduced. Hi, I'm Larian. Hello.
Sorry about the whole sending you to jail thing, potentially ruining your life.
Don't really know how to respond to that. But somehow I don't really think it's your fault.
Yeah. We didn't send him to jail. It was Art's asshole dad that did that.
Yeah. Feel like it's more like that. He does look a little bit sad.
Yeah.
He's trying to keep it together, but
Life sure was sweet though before you guys came along.
Still though, I'm sorry for getting you involved.
I mean, apology accepted, but frankly, I think I would rather know that things are like this than not. I'd rather be aware than be kept in the dark about, the whole clear corruption thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's good information to have.
It's why I was kind of reluctant to come back.
I understand. Speaking of going back, though, I do have to go back to the city. I do. I have to see if I can find my family. Get them out.
Of course. We just have to figure out where we are first.
Of course. Yeah.
We're in the desert. I don't understand why we need to. Isn't that where we were the entire time?
Brix, the desert here it's like really big. If you don't know where you're going, and we don't, you may just end up walking through sand forever.
Oh, well, nobody told me that. God.
Yeah, so don't...
Why, who put this here? Who would make something so fucking big and just make it go on forever? What a waste of space.
Brix starts having a crisis. What? That can happen?
Infinite litter box? No.
You mean like the SIBO with sand?
No!
Yeah. Art pointedly looks at Will and just goes, yeah, so don't go running off anywhere.
I pretend that I do not see it. He definitely looks up to him but doesn't say anything. He looks back down to the shield and he does the I pretend that I do not see it me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll try and I think get to Emperor's Cradle is the easiest, and then you'll be able to find your way back to Mondon, and hopefully it doesn't take too long.
Hopefully.
We're not gonna have to fight any more paladins, are we? Them some bitches hit real hard.
I mean, we fought more than I would have liked to already.
No more paladins.
I'd also like to avoid that if we can.
I've had it with these motherfucking paladins.
And their motherfucking holy magic.
They're anti-magic grenades.
Those piss me off.
Their anti-magic grenades were fucking bullshit.
Sorry.
I don't like their anti-Oswalt grenades.
Yeah. Feels homophobic to me.
Yeah.
So while everybody's sitting around, Oswalt is sitting there and he still has the orb in one hand, cradling his right arm a lot. And he's gesturing with the orb and stuff. And it just goes, so, what the fuck do we do now? I feel like we got what we came for, but also, I don't think Mondon likes us very much now. So I guess we gotta leave.
To be fair, I don't think Mondon liked us much to begin with.
It's true.
I think we should report back to Withersby. We've definitely made some headway on understanding these devices. We have a brand new one.
And we should probably see if anything's happening in Jonstrom. It's been a while since we checked in. Art kind of like pulls out the medallion at this point. He's like, I mean, we could technically just, should we just call him?
We are in a guild.
Make a circle just to put the medallion and on speaker.
Yeah, you're on speaker. Say hi.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Sorry, the signal's really bad right here.
Sorry, yeah. Just can you speak up? You're on speaker.
Sounds like a plan to me. Just out of curiosity, while Oswalt's gesturing with the orb,
Yes.
does anybody in the party see anything?
Would Brix see something? Would Brix...
Just while I am wildly moving this orb
No,
around.
not wildly.
For
He's just
no
like...
reason.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Well,
it's
are you like showing
I
it to
know.
everybody? You're
I
like,
just love it.
does anybody know what the fuck this is? Is that what
And,
you're
you know,
doing?
he just
Or-
still has it in his hand, and he's just like talking.
We remember the orb.
He starts making the pss, 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 pss sound and going like this. Like,
I'm just assuming that that Oswalt is fidgeting. That's all.
Fair enough. If Brix is looking at it, there are symbols on it that she would be able to read.
I don't think she would go out of her way to be like, ha, ha. But I mean, if he's just sort of wildly...
He's not wildly swinging it around. He's just like moving it and then holding it in places while he's talking. Because it's just in his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Probably have Brix be like, hey, how long have those been there for?
I'm sure at some point it would catch her eye, begrudgingly.
It is shiny.
Mm-hmm.
It is shiny. And she just kind of gesture over at it.
I mean, has anyone noticed that it has like washing instructions written on this thing or something?
Do any of us see any kind of symbol on it, or is this like just a yellow glowing orb to us?
It's got like the glowy middle part of it and the two caps. And the caps have some symbols on it. And the symbols would translate roughly to it being
Gentle cycle, air
hand
dry
wash
only.
It translates roughly to the orb itself being the start of something or the source of something, or to be used as such.
Huh.
It's got a completely different array of symbols than the amplifier that you have.
As soon as Brix, if she just starts saying that, Art just like starts like scribbling that down immediately.
After Brix says that, Oswalt looks at the thing again and goes, I've never really noticed those symbols there.
Maybe you need some glasses. I don't know.
Maybe. I have been hit in the head quite a bit.
Maybe we should just look at our things more.
Maybe.
when you roast yourself.
Yeah.
Brix takes out Nork and it just has like, here's how you win the game, just like etched into it. And she's like, whoa, what the?
Yeah, it's got instructions. Like, this is what it is. All right? Jesus.
It's just you look at the knife and the sharp part says front towards enemy.
Yeah, actually, after noticing that the orb has writing on it, do the rods have writing on them?
They do.
Yeah.
For God's sakes.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
odd.
Mm-hmm.
Who can read them?
I just want to point out, like, whoever's going around just writing on things, you know, there's paper, right? There's like paper you can write on.
Listen,
Well,
they're ancient
runes. You can
artifacts.
make the things have a.
They're to make
an
the things
effect.
do the thing. If Art just looks at the rods, he can't figure it out, right? Like, if he just like looks at one, he just like,
No, the symbols
Slides
are
it to
completely
Brix.
forward to you.
yeah. Does this say anything?
He gives it to Brix.
Yeah.
I don't know, Jeph. Is more celestial on them?
Yes, the rods are not quite the same material or anything. They don't give off the same vibe as the orb and the amplifier do. The symbols on them, though, they would read pretty roughly as being an anchor of some kind.
Interesting. So Art hands over one of those rods to Brix, and she takes it in her little paws, and she says,
This supposed to be like like it holds things down, or maybe
and then she holds it like a sword and starts swinging it around and making lightsaber noises.
Whoa.
And she says, or it could just be like a really cool weapon. I don't know. Vroom.
Woman.
I think I'll take that back.
You could probably make it into a cool weapon of some kind.
I do think each one of us has one of the mysterious rods in our inventory. I think we did that.
Mm-hmm.
Brix doesn't. I know for a fact she doesn't because she was fucking around the entire time that you guys are actually doing things.
That's true.
So somebody has two.
Does Knack have one?
Art probably has two, to be honest, but he'll still ask for it.
Well,
back.
I mean, Art had all of them before, so.
Exactly.
While we're looking at things in our possessions, I have an unidentified magic ring.
Yeah, the iron ring.
Yeah, I want to examine it.
I want to identify it.
Just like looking at it to see if it's.
I don't have the skills necessary to figure out what kind of magic it does, but I just want to see if there's anything of note on it.
It's a very roughly forged ring, but on the widest part of it, which you can probably assume to be the quote-unquote front, it's kind of got what looks to be the shape of a ram's head.
Ooh.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I put it on, I won't know what it does, right?
No, not immediately. But when worn, it gives the wearer a feeling of physical strength, as if the ring is exerting some kind of force.
Maybe it makes you do a good punch. Like you throw a punch and
Sure. This is not a thing that is best spent on Oswalt, I don't think.
Two things. One, as we're... I feel like at this point we're just like, let's just take stock of what we have and like see how these things are connected.
Mm-hmm.
First, as Art's going through all his shit, he's still wearing the gloves. And I would like to know if Larian recognizes the gloves, because he actually might know what they do since they are his dad's. And two, Art is going to pull out. So I have these sketches. And by sketches, I think they were like the reliefs that Brix took at some point, maybe, of these seals that we found. One of them looks exactly like the fucking ship part that we were in. It looks almost identical to the fucking like airship area or whatever we were in.
Oh, Sonny, you're so right.
Oh,
shit.
fuck.
As Art like pulls it out and looks at it. What the look at this. What the fuck? Look at this. This is where we just were. Right? I'm not crazy, right?
Well,
I feel like both of them are familiar at this point somehow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, if you
the
recall,
second...
there were two floors to that.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I mean. I'm
yeah.
pretty sure these are the two floors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Ah, shit.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, where were these from? Were they from
These were from the
Wanderer's house?
Yeah, these were inside of the ornate box.
Which was the Wanderer's box because his diary was in there.
Yeah.
Which means...
I'm starting to think that mummy might have been the Wanderer.
I'm starting to think you're fucking right as hell.
I kind of thought that.
he was kind of a dick.
I kind of thought that as we were there,
I kind of thought that, but didn't say anything.
essentially, but like
Ha.
everything that we did, we were following in the Wanderer's steps. The fact that we ended up there in a place that had requested that someone not be disturbed, it all kind of adds up. How does Larian take that news?
I don't think that Larian would actually be able to respond in words.
He froze up.
Because, just like Art, he spent his whole life caring about legends of the Wanderer, having him as this revered figure. And he wasn't part of that journey up until that point. So having this sudden revelation.
Yeah.
Oh, we killed him, didn't we? Oh.
As we were walking through, Art and Larian were together. Like, Art did explain, like, we've been following the diary of the Wanderer. So he did know that, like, that's kind of what this, like, leg of, like, the mission.
Yeah, but this is like hearing
been.
about Jesus in the Bible, and then you find Jesus, and he is the mummy from the mummy, and also he tries to kill you.
And then you,
find
then you
Jesus
got
in
to
the tomb
kill
and he
him.
tries to stab you.
And then you have to kill him.
Yeah.
Like, that is
Yeah.
Find out he
And
went
Jesus
insane.
also sicks his
We
fucking
beat up
nasty
zombie Jesus.
dogs on you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
We beat up zombie Jesus, and he didn't even say anything. He didn't even tell us anything. We didn't learn a thing. I haven't grown as a person at all.
Fuck
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's one of the reasons Art tried to talk at
Yeah.
the beginning of the fight.
mhm. As this comes up, Oswalt just looks at the group and goes, So what you mean to tell me is we killed a major religious figure?
Yes.
In self-defense.
Knack says, raising a claw.
Potentially, I don't know if I would use the word demigod, but definitely a figure that is revered like a god.
After hearing that, Oswalt goes, That's hilarious. Oh, ow.
I'd just like to point out that near the beginning of the Legend of the Wanderer, actually, it does talk about how the Wanderer carried an artifact and was looking for a place to seek rest for himself.
Jeph, I know. You know how many times I've fucking read this thing? That's why instantly I was just like, well, fuck.
This is the kind of revelation you have after you've already done fighting the dude, okay?
Mhm.
Like, totally. You're thrown in there, and then
Yeah.
a weird guy is trying to kill you, and then you kill him back. And then you go back to Earth, and you're like, oh, I just killed Jesus, actually.
We just
Okay,
killed
I just
Jesus.
We disturbed his resting place and killed him for him being angry about it.
We would have died.
We are the bad guys.
We would have died. But yeah, Art is definitely sinking into the idea of like, are we the baddies? he's
the
back
bad
there.
guys now.
He's back.
this is not a character, but clearly it looked like he was insane. Like, even within the place that we were in, I don't know, it seemed like a person that went through there was going steadily insane. You know what I mean? So the guy was clearly not right.
I mean, I
Well-
tried to talk to him and he point blank fired a laser at me.
Yeah.
So we weren't
an attempt.
made to talk our way out of that situation. I will say that.
So my only conclusion is that he was, like you said, insane
Yeah.
or corrupted. And what made him so what made him mean? What made him so mean?
But also the Wanderer was followed by the Madman. So there's two bits to this.
Oh wait, or was it? Or was the
Unless
Wanderer
he's
Or
just
were
just
they
a
the same
madman?
person? Or
Yeah.
were they the same person?
Because
Or
he was
maybe
insane.
maybe
and
the
he-
Wanderer's still out there.
like, I don't know, either
Maybe.
that or like this guy went so crazy that by the end nobody could like recognize him like we did. Like, we didn't immediately think this was the Wanderer because we were thinking about this like holy Jesus figure of a good guy, you know, with like and then what we found was beef jerky. So
Beef jerky man with laser.
so that didn't yeah.
Beef jerky man with laser.
So it
In
could be a lot of
parentheses.
things. Like, at this point there's at least like 3 theories that it could be, but yeah.
He could have been the other guy, the other fella.
So after a little bit of like processing information, Larian's like, "Oh, all right. So hold on. If that thing was the Wanderer, then does that mean that?" And he points at the amplifier on Scarlet's back. Does that mean that is the
My hand
thing
sounds
he
like-
was carrying around, the artifact that he had the whole time?
Well,
It was that.
we were trying to find that artifact and we found this. I think that this is it.
What? Okay, so all right, fine.
Knack pats Larian on the shoulder.
It's okay. Sit down. Sit down.
It's obvious you're new here. What you need to do is take this information, parse it away in your brain, forget about it, and move on.
You know,
Keep
I
all of
think
your
you might be onto
emotions
something
right here,
actually.
and then one day you will die.
We're all very good at that. We do it a lot.
I think that's the right move right now.
This is
I
so
think
unhealthy.
at least for this moment right now, I think I'm just gonna. I think we're gonna do that. I think that's the yep. Okay.
Bad therapy advice.
So, Jeph, looking at the sketches, looking over them, laying them over top of each other, now knowing that these are a place or a thing, would I be able to discern whether or not they're a kind of like, well, they are a kind of blueprint ish in a way. They're a plan to build something. Can't say that they're not that.
Or a map.
Or a map
of something he found.
But well, no, because we're pretty sure he made it. So it feels more like a plan and less like a map to me. And potentially to Art. I'd like to know if from these I can discern maybe not where we were, but what we were in, knowing that, like, okay, so the power supplies were here. There was a control panel here. Like, just looking at it as a whole, as, like, an overview, and putting that together with, like, knowing the knowledge of, like, the place we were in. Does that make sense?
You're trying to figure out where relative to the planet you were?
Yeah, like, it just... again, like, basically, could I figure out if we were in, like, a building or a ship or a structure that I have no kind of reference for? Like, I just can't get it out of my head that we were in a fucking airship, okay? And I want to know.
Just based off your surroundings in there, looking at the sketches, knowing what you know now, and, like, the kinds of creatures you saw therein, I think one would be able to reasonably assume that you were underground.
Okay. So it could have still been just further under. It could have been further under Mondon. It doesn't have to be, but it could have been. But somewhere underground.
It could have been underneath Mondon, or it could have been. It could have been under where you guys are right now.
Yeah.
It could have been 1,000 miles away. It could have been like, yeah.
All you're able to guess at is that you were underground, but where underground? That's kind of up in the air.
No, I'm happy with that. I want to know anything about this place that we were. And I think at this point too, Art will also verbalize / explain to Larian, we have reason to believe that the Church of the One God, I don't know if they're trying to get these things in particular, but they are making moves that seem unconnected, but everything that we've come across, all of these weird things we've been doing in this entire adventure, quote unquote, we've been having, it all seems to come down to one of the members of the Church of the One God.
Yeah, that prick Cal.
With his normal name.
Just a normal ass name.
Normal ass name for a normal ass man.
Yeah.
Completely unremarkable.
The most unremarkable person.
Fucking Cal.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what to do with that.
Me neither. I'm just trying to put it all out there.
I mean, I guess it's good to know in case I ever, I don't know, run across one of these guys.
We also found texts of the Church of the One God in the cathedral.
Interesting. Wait, what? Where?
In the restricted, locked section. The kind of section that only the High Cleric could get to.
Gods above. Okay. So what? They're part of the main church, or like what?
It seems like they may have had similar origins, in the least. It's not like the texts are recent. They're old, but they're there. I'm not lying, right? These were things that we found.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not lying.
Just making sure that I'm presenting the information accurately.
Yeah.
That's
sounds good.
That's when I saw you in the library that day. We were there to
steal shit.
Okay, yeah, all right. That's making a lot more sense.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to tell you.
Yeah.
It's why I just said I'd be back. I didn't want to arouse any suspicion.
Okay. It's all starting to come together now. I got it.
Yeah.
Huh. He's just sitting with that for a bit.
Yeah.
He's getting caught up on this real fast.
Info.
Sure is.
And He probably has more context to put it in
Yeah.
than I do, honestly, because I've been out of the church for 15 years.
Yeah. So to recap on those
on our revelations.
on the books about that had the symbol that looked like Church of the One God symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had a lot of talk about the old gods, but rather than just talking about the regular three, the life, sea, and earth gods, it also talked a lot about the death god.
The death god.
Based on what you found in the book, it seemed like the inclusion of that fourth god led to a lot of conflict in the oldest versions of the old god faith. The exact fallout of that isn't exactly clear, but it alludes to a person or group of people eventually being expelled, banished, or just generally shunned.
We can kind of assume that, like, the Church of the One God is like the Church of the God of Death. YN.
It certainly seems that way at the moment, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And if that's not the case, well, then you have truly no idea. But at present, you can pretty safely assume that.
Ruh-roh.
Okay.
That's going to involve Oswalt in an awkward way at some point, I'm sure.
Guh.
Art recaps that and says it very technically in a way that's like, it's not like we found, you know, like ritualistic casting of the Church of the One God down there. It's we found books that had similar symbols that included a god that we don't really talk about that obviously kind of does exist. Obviously there's a god of death. Why wouldn't there be an old god of death? Obviously there was one.
So when I was in prison, he was asking me about the Church of the One God, but it sounds like they should know. But he was saying something about them. I don't know. It made it sound like they had been making some kind of move in London over the past couple days.
He alluded to that with me as well. I tried to tell him that if we were both fighting the Church of the One God, we were on the same side, and that wasn't the time that he punched me in the face, but I'm sure that all had something to do with it.
I see. Well then.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but I'm so confused.
Does that mean the Cal guy's going after Mondin? Because he did blow up a guild hall that one time.
I mean, it's a good target. It's the head of the church, the head of the state. Again, all problems.
How do we know that this Cal motherfucker isn't like your dad? Like, you know,
is
in
your dad
a way
named Cal?
where he's trying to consolidate and control people through fear and making up some like imaginary bad guy that's gonna, you know, he's gonna save them all from, and then he creates the TSA, and you know, there's like checkpoints everywhere, and you gotta like take off your shoes.
Yeah, I mean,
we've certainly
doesn't
never seen the guy.
Sound
what the
like
hell is
my
a TSA?
Father. You know, you just have to kind of gloss over some of the things that she says. They don't always line up. She's a cat. She's a cat.
Meow.
But
look, man, I'm willing to accept anything at this point. Like, what is life even?
Cal has only been described to us as an average-looking human man, right? I think human.
Yeah, human.
Politician.
An average-looking human man.
He's a politician.
Well, great. That narrows it down.
Yeah, and I don't... All I'm saying is I don't think anyone would have issues describing my father to anyone. He's fairly recognizable.
Here?
Yeah.
Well, I just mean, you know, the sharp features, beard, tall...
Elf.
What's the difference?
He has some defining
Platinum blonde
characteristics.
Hair. What's the
Yeah.
difference?
Scar on his cheek.
Yeah, he has He has defining features.
Knack knows what I'm talking about.
Humanoid blindness.
Yeah, humanoid blindness.
Yeah.
Quick, roll a spot.
Yeah,
I mean,
you look around.
Knack
Can
didn't
you tell
even
us
know
apart?
that Will was a guy for the longest time.
Yeah, I think I might have already said this
Y'all
previously,
look the same.
but basically in Brix's mind, Art is the one that has like the blonde on top, Scarlet has the red, and Oswalt has the black. That's how she tells you guys apart.
I see.
And thank God it's not the pointy ears, or Lyrian would show up and she'd be like, don't know which one.
Yeah.
I don't know who it is
22.
anymore.
You got a 22 on your spot?
22.
Okay.
Oh, are we all spotting or
what?
just someone?
It's too late now. You ran out of time.
Well, all
Um,
you yelled was spot. I thought you were yelling at Brix. Or I
No.
thought you were yelling at Knack to see if he could tell the difference between the
Okay,
humanoid
so-
players.
So, no, that's fine. I want to keep you on your toes. So, Scarlet, for a brief moment, just a second, feel like you're being watched. And then the feeling goes away.
It's gone. Anyway, back to what we were talking about.
Scarlet's the only one that notices that, though. Everyone else is having
A riveting
fucking
What?
argument.
That's probably why. Because I'm literally the only one not participating.
Hey, howdy, hey, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out on this episode of Stumble Quest. The theme is Struttin by Louie Zong, and other music is provided by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com. The next episode's coming out on December 7th. If you got some downtime, why don't you come on over to StumbleQuest.com, where we've got information about the show, cast, and characters, as well as a mighty fine level up dice link, which you could click on. 'Tis the season. I don't know if you participate in any of the gift-giving holidays in the next several months, but if you do, perhaps there will be a treat there for someone you hold dear. Or just for yourself, like I'm probably gonna do. You can find us at StumbleQuest on Twitter, and if you want to connect with us on Discord on the show's server, the link is going to be in the description. Just scroll on down. Reviews help the show so much, especially 5-star ratings and reviews. That is an absolute chef's kiss of a combo. Or if you're looking for another way to support the show, you could come on over to patreon.com/StumbleQuest. We have a couple tiers, but one of them opts you into a play-by-post game run by Rosemary. And what I've heard about the characters is they're all pretty cool, you guys. And speaking of some very cool patrons, there are some patrons I would like to say thank you to. Thank you, Andy Animates, Eldritch Pixel, Elfheim, Lemon Wiki, Illican, Mad Hatter Plush Artist, Mr. Peacher, Mike Provenzano, Shaz Hands, Striker, The Tommynator, Will the Smoshy, and Zolt. Well, folks, that's it for this week. This episode was edited by myself, Allie, at You See the Hat on Instagram and Twitter, but stay tuned, because next time, Larian and Socks team up to bring you the greatest existential crisis you've ever seen.